Welcome to my show. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And make sure you ring that bell twice. Okay, enjoy the show.
All right, it pains me to have to cover this. It really, really does. Y'all just don't know how much. Like they say, this one hurts. But I have to cover it. So apparently, after filing for divorce 5 days before Christmas, and Meagan Good didn't even contact her lawyer or anything yet, but in the wake of all of that, Devon Franklin decided to post a picture of himself crying that he took 3 months ago. Now, I just gotta say this. It's very odd. It's just downright weird for someone to, well, I'm not gonna say it's weird for a man to cry, even though it should not be a common thing that one does. It's not productive and it won't solve your problems. And it shows lack of self control. But I don't seek out weaknesses in men, so I'm really indifferent to that particular aspect of what he did. It is just very weird that you took a picture of it. It's like, you know something? I'm feeling vulnerable right now. I feel the need to weep, and while I'm at it, I'm going to take a selfie of myself weeping. That's a new one. That is a new one. That's I remember Tyrese Gibson doing something similar to that, but I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to understand the mindset of Devon Franklin because he thinks far different than I do. But there you have it. Took a picture of himself crying months ago, and then thought it would be a good idea to post it. Now, to the people who say it's not a good look, etc., 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 he's not doing it for the general public, I don't believe. I think that he's doing it for more his congregation. I think it's more to their benefit. I think that he values their opinion more than he values our opinion because he's not an actor, he's a producer. And therefore, the opinions of myself and people that consume entertainment really isn't as important to him as the people who congregate at his church. He values their opinion. Now, I'm going to cover this later, but there's a great fault in that thinking. And I really believe that it may be part of his overall downfall. But we'll get into that in a moment. All right. So, with the picture, he said the following. Devon Franklin, I took this picture a few months ago. I'm not much of a crier, so in a moment of deep pain and peace, I took this picture. It captures best how I feel. Okay. Why haven't your feelings changed in a few months? Let's say 3 months. You felt a certain way and you're just now posting it because you use the present tense. This is best how I feel, which really means that you've been crying, maybe not visibly, but you've been doing this for the past 3 months. And in that time that you had to, think about the situation, you've decided to file for a divorce and then post the fact that you're crying and you feel the same way before filing for the divorce that you do after. So it didn't help with the situation at all. So I don't know. Something is going on there. I share this with you because it is the most honest way to start this year. Okay, here's the thing about honesty. It's just as honest to do and say absolutely nothing as it is to tell the truth when a question isn't presented. You see, had someone asked, hey, were you crying 3 months ago and did you take a picture? Then the honest answer would be, yes, I did, and here it is. Absent that very unique and personalized question, there really shouldn't be any honesty to a question unasked. So, yeah, listen, I get the feeling that he wants to be more personal. Okay, I'm going to just flat out say it. I think he's being manipulated by his congregation. And this isn't the first time I had this thought. And I'll share with you the first time I had this thought in a moment. But first, let me just finish reading this. I know we are starting a new year, yet I do not wish you a happy new year. I wish you a happy true year. Why? Because just because it's new doesn't make it true. Okay. That's one of those things that just doesn't make any damn sense at all. And not to use the word damn when I'm, talking about a religious man, but it doesn't make any damn sense. He explains it later, and I sort of get it, but not really. It's just something that's meant to sound catchy and somewhat rhyme and sound interesting and thought-provoking, but it's neither. It's really just, oh, true year, not new year. Haha, that is so interesting. Well, You see, when you're a pastor, let's face it, no one in your congregation or anything is ever going to really challenge you. You're not going to get into a theological debate with somebody in there. They just kind of like go along with whatever it is you say, and they do the well, they kind of just echo whatever sentiment you say, because no matter what passage you read that week, no matter what sermon you give, they're just going there to tell God that they went. So it really doesn't matter. I mean, they're going there for fellowship and other reasons, but the least of all reason that they're going there is the sermon. So they're just pretty much agreeing. And it's because you have that type of audience that you can say crap like this. I mean, nobody's going to heckle you. You're not a comedian or anything. Nobody's going to sit in the crowd and troll you. So, yeah, this is absent nuance and is just downright lame, to be perfectly honest. But if she loved it for 9 years, then, she did. All right. So often I came into a new year with all the things I hope to do better, and I would carry around this feeling of I didn't do enough last year, or I'm not enough, so I must do more. Yeah, I think that we all have that. I would assume that people at his level of success don't feel that way. And now I know better. So I actually appreciate that level of openness. I'm breaking my addiction to the new and working on being fully committed to what's true. Okay. Once again, this is more of the cryptic talk, and it's meant to come off as wisdom, but really it's just cryptic. My prayer for you is the same prayer I have for myself. To have the truest year of life. True peace, true happiness, true friends, true love, true work, true fun, true faith, true money, true joy, true purpose. Amen. I threw the amen part in there at the end. All right. So that's it. That's his whole explanation for crying. His emphasis on the word true really implies that he has had a false experience. He has had an experience of something that wasn't true. Sad to say, but what do you do? I mean, you're implying something is true. Once again, it's not my business what caused this divorce, but apparently something or someone wasn't true. Wasn't true love, wasn't true work, wasn't true fun. I mean, it's not really, what's the best way to put this? It's not really, you're letting people's imagination wander about what's going on. Before when you just said, okay, we're getting a divorce, we decided that we're better off apart, and blah, 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 served her with the papers. And, there's a lot of question marks out there, and people were drawing their own conclusion. Now you just threw some more question marks on the plate. Like, yeah, and by the way, I'm crying because my new year wasn't a true year. Okay. Very, very interesting place. Okay. I don't want to make this video long, so I'm just going to end with what I promised before, and that is an explanation of how I feel that the congregation is manipulating him. All right. So, some years back, I think it was maybe like, I want to say like 10 years ago. Maybe around 10 years ago. Maybe 6 or 7. All right. Anyway, somewhere between 5 to 10 years ago, a hacker got a hold of certain celebrities' nudes. They got Gabrielle Union. They got the chick from Big Bang Theory, Penny. They got Keke Palmer. And they got Meagan Good. Meagan Goods was the only ones I wanted to see, to be perfectly honest. And, so I got me a copy of those as soon as they came. As soon as they came, not me. And the thing about that was, it was kind of bad. On the pictures, you could see her wobblies, and you could see him in the corner smiling as she was obviously doing this for her husband, as is her right, as is her body, to do. Now, the congregation had something to say about that. They had something to say about a woman showing herself. Now, it was intended to be private. She didn't plan on getting hacked. Notice that Meagan Good never really directly revealed herself like that. So this was supposed to be a private showing for her husband. Nothing really wrong with that at all. However, the congregation made a big deal about it. They was like, oh, it's so unchristian to show your wobblies to your husband and privacy of your own internet, and how dare you, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you would swear that these chicks never been naked in front of a man. They was on some false holier than thou stuff if I ever heard it. These are the same chicks that he goes into every Sunday to try to impress, to try to lead a good example for. Keep in mind, he's the pastor. He is the leader. He is the one that is supposed to be leading them. However, what they're doing is they are topping him from the bottom. They're saying that a leader would behave this way. A leader would do this. A leader would do that. So basically, he's following their leadership in order to qualify to be their leader. They are giving marital advice to him. Now, however many years ago, he should have nipped that in the he should have nipped that in the bud right then and there. He should have said, don't you ever talk about what I do with my wife in private. Just because somebody got access to what we do in private, that's still none of your business. And it doesn't give you the right or the liberty to speak on my marriage, period. Do I tell you you can't do these private acts that are sanctioned by God? Do I do these things to you? You see, that's the thing. The students are running the classroom. So I got a feeling that also took its toll on the marriage. That he may have spent a lot of time trying to impress the congregation and less time focusing on, and perhaps this latest action may be to, impress the congregation. Who knows? Once again, there's a lot of question marks. I'm not even going to speculate. There's a million things that could be. It could be that she hooked up with her Rashad Richard, that one guy from My Cousin Skeeter, and Cousin Skeeter was in the room filming it, and he walked in and caught. Who knows what happened between the two of them? But I will say that this religious crap is really turning like a otherwise normal dude who could have had a reasonably normal life into just some weird ass crap that's pictures of himself crying on the internet. All right. That being said, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell twice. This is GameChanger 00100. Again, game over. Peace.